this is like a good veto for Vitality. I'd say Navi here by a pretty significant margin. I probably disagree with the odds a little bit too. I don't think it's like that favored, but I'd still favor Navi a little bit overall. Dust 2, even though it's comfortable for both teams, is more comfortable for Navi. So as much as we could say that Vitality can win the first 2 maps, I'd say technically you have better odds for Navi on both. So let's see actually what happens. Obviously, like Prof just alluded to, a big problem right now is that outside of Simple, his team is actually playing really poorly, way below average. And that's to talk specifically about Bit and Electronic, who got his act together after the first series at the event, but in his second versus Heroic was not good. Basically performed well while his team lost at the very best, but not the same Electronic we're used to at this point. And Perfecto as well. I mean, yeah, no, needs to be a lot better from his teammates.
And while those woes are going on for Navi, we get the likes of Dupree standing right next to ZywOo.
Yeah.
That 14-16 loss on Mirage, it was the Dupree and ZywOo show. So Prof can say only ZywOo, but Dupree will have other things to say about it. We get this pop out from balcony, 2 players already down into the pit, and Magisk still lingers just above. Opening kill of this match, and the 2 that follow suit, but Electronic, he's got this little bit of a pillar. He's 2 kill. Oh, a tap into ZywOo. That's a beautiful kill. But it's still the man advantage in the hands of Vitality. Electronic tries to just light some fireworks on the short side of A. A slow crawl from Apex to come and join Magisk, and Boomich is going to need to come in and start this match with the clutch. Now everybody knows where they're at, and a good flash pushes Boomich back.
Making sure they haven't crossed pit. Boomich hoping that they push him. Bomb is tucked in the middle of default. I'm not sure he has enough time to make this play safely, but doesn't feel comfortable wrapping around Arch. Here's the first duel. Oh, Apex. Well, he was in the open, right? He was in a position where Boomich wanted him to be, but he couldn't hit the shot. So Apex will clutch that out. And yeah, Prof at the end said ZywOo, but earlier in the segment did
also
mention Dupree.
Yep,
and that is really important because you know, weird thing about 2021. Check out this shot, though.
Yeah,
check out this shot real quick.
Hold it.
One second. Let's just look at this peak. He's back. Okay, he's back. ZywOo has more help with Dupree than Simple does with any of his other teammates at the moment.
Sure.
So I think that's one thing to be important. And also, you could say ZywOo has the better stats, but as far as I'm concerned, Dupree's the guy to watch from these past matches.
Okay. Well, we'll keep eyes on him. Dupree kicks this off. Long-range AK frag. ZywOo takes that front-running position and just continues this pressure through the boiler, through the apartments, through this buy-up from Navi. Not the way you'd want to start the Force round.
Crazy that these two teams have not gone up against each other yet.
And that's the thing. This Vitality roster, this entire project, right? They were crafted and created to be world beaters, to be tournament champions. And at that time, it was to defeat the likes of Navi. They've had to wait a long time before this project is properly tested for what its, I would say, #1 goal was.
Yeah, something I guess that newer fans don't know is just that, like, whenever there's a team in an era, all other roster changes happen because of that team. You know, when it was Astralis with Dupree, Magisk, Device, Zip, and Glaive, every other team that made a roster move was simply to figure out a way to be better than Astralis, and that's what Navi did to everyone else back in 2021. But I say back in 2021 because even just a couple months later, they are not the same anymore. But the roster changes have already happened. So that's what makes it even scarier for Navi. As Vitality find the open site, comfortably go and get this bomb down, and we can move forward into the next round. Sure, Navi will just hang on to these guns.
Easy does it.
Nice 3K on the pistol from Electronic, though.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
just a really nice, a nice showing very quickly early on to remind us, like, it's not very often we come into series with question marks hanging over Electronic's head.
Yes.
And that is just the nature of the situation right now. He kind of shuts us all up for a moment.
He's perpetually top 5.
And now we have to wait to see what happens. Gun rounds soon to start for Navi, but if they can save these 2 Deagles, Perfecto's got a nice belt of utility. I noticed in the pistol, Boomich, he had a smoke for that retake in the 1v2. He actually threw it down middle. He dropped that smoke just so, accepting his death and not giving it over. So if you're managing utility to that degree, I see you, Boomich.
True, yeah.
No freebies.
Signed up for the save. Okay. There's some calm now as we go into this following round. The bigger investment from Na'Vi. The Banks brought it up, and there's just noticeable tilt on Na'Vi as well. Haven't seen Electronic get this mad ever. I mean, he's just been, like after their match versus FaZe, I think it was it FaZe? Oh, maybe Heroic. Nice shot, Simple. He just looked incredibly frustrated. The player was just like, what is going on? Even in situations where the map isn't over. Could be because of his individual level, maybe because of team stuff. Bit spotting Arch, and he doesn't die. Now he will. Simple will take his spot. His deagles are missed. Masuda with the 2 kills on the MAC-10. Rapid Suze. Electronic steps up to the plate.
Ooh. Boomich is not going to be able to get anything. So Electronic hangs on. Frag grenade on his feet, going to make it way harder. But they're taking their time here. Perfecto's just trying to serve up a distraction, but it is still the empty-handed pit play. Look at the damage here. This, considering it was just, you know, those few saved weapons from the previous round, definitely worth hanging on to. Almost enough to stop Vitality in their tracks. But they'll get that 3-0.
Yeah, the deagle was doing great.
And the frustration from Electronic, it makes sense if it's after that Heroic loss, just because, you know, that was your ticket, guaranteed Legend space.
It was,
you know?
both. It was like both series, every game basically that I saw him play. Besides the one map that he farmed on, it seemed like he was getting just really tilted at both. Maybe himself, maybe his team. You know, it might have been a bit of projection in there just because he was having a rough game. But he's like the guy that looks kind of mad all the time, but never like
Sure.
yells, you know?
3-0 for the T side of Vitality starts.
Yep.
But that last one, little asterisk on it. More damage than they would have liked. So look at this Deeg. Down goes ZywOo.
Any of these moments could go south. First rifle, no off and play. We get the late deep smoke here inside of middle, but he knows that ult will be approached upon. And this balcony is getting used more and more these days on the lane setups. Of course, leaving a gap at the end of halls.
Yeah, problem.
But they, it's all about timings, and they're coming back to watch it.
This will be a close one. Still throwing some utility over. Electronic smokes ahead of him. He throws down the incendiary, but that's still 2 players past.
Oh my God.
Great spam damage. Nearly 2 frags as he just sprays into the routing of Vitality. Excellent hold from Bit to lock in 2 kills. These rifles working wonderfully for Navi's first gun round. Just dismantling Vitality. And like you said, it boils down to timing, and that timing came down to a T. ZywOo's still up, fully HP'd. Masuda in pit on 1/5 his health.
That was a demo spray. I don't care. That was nuts how much damage was just dealt, but Electronic gets picked out of the middle of the site, and they still have pick control here for Masuda. Any mistakes could allow Vitality the leverage to actually make this round possible.
ZywOo now knows Perfecto inside that cubby.
One spotted. His gun's definitely sticking out.
That's 2.
He finds one. He knows one's moto as well.
That's 2. He's piecing this together, ZywOo. Flash from short as well. That's confirming numbers, and he uses this chance to get into the bomb site. Now Vitality have the post plant. Masuda can't really stop Simple from creeping his way up short, so ZywOo, he's going to give his back to Simple, and that should be the end of Vitality now. Masuda swings out into the open, and that is the end. But nicely done by ZywOo to just pull off 2 parts of the setup, giving them the bomb plant at the very least. Na'Vi on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they did a great job of not getting overactive there. Masuda getting in the pit, not dying, finding a kill, and getting some info on where a number of those players were. But like that wedge play from Simple to get up into the hay cart and to catch him in the 2v3. Him being the loose piece in that situation. And so the bomb is nice here for Vitality, but for Na'Vi, I think this was a demo round. Well, the way that they responded to the Hall smoke and the way that their timings looked as they walked back towards pit, you could see they were very prepared for that kind of execute, and this is the first sign of that, right? Normally, you're not going to spam all your bullets into a smoke if you think that players can jump out into lane, because then you might as well have waited for a second, and he uses 90% of his mag, so feeling very confident about that specific pathing, which could get into Vitality's head a little bit. So, okay, they've done their research, and it's paying off. I'm not sure, but I can't help but feel like Vitality not using their Hall's flash at the end of Halls was specifically to catch him off guard.
The mind games begin. Triple grenade into the sandbags. Not going to net them anything as Boomich is leaning a little bit further back, and Simple's already rotating towards B off of that showing of aggression. The utility, a warning of what is to come. All of Vitality to the tip of Banana.
They're risking this. Full utility. Flashes come out, but the mollies do too.
Boomich boosted. Easy vision into the back of Magic's head. Falls down. Apex pushing that as the flash is committed to from Boomich. Trying to get these two players inside sight, primed for impact. Apex looking for the evacuation. Gets back out through the doorway. Perfecto still has a little bit of smoke, but there's also fire towards his feet. He is locked into this corner. An empty gun, and Dupree's not able to finish it on his own. Now we've just got two Vitality players stranded within this pit. Bit rotates. Electronic right beside him, and Simple being a nuisance on Coffins, but there's that trade right back. And ZywOo is working wonderfully so far this series. 5-3. Another moment where he's given a chance, a bit of timing, to pull this one apart, to piece it all together.
Oh my god. I mean,
he has a way to leave.
Yeah, he does have a way to leave, but we're crossing the 20-second mark. And now I don't think he's going to commit out. But he didn't find the one kill that he'd like to get. So now he's got to hope that they let him have the plant. And as we cross the 10-second mark, there's very little chance of that. So Electronic will start to walk out and now run.
Done.
And, oh, the bomb gets planted. That's money here for Vitality. Still want to say Na'Vi looked incredibly well prepared. Look how fast that rotation was over to the B site. And they had everything in place ready for an early contact explode. One single flash on the play from Vitality. Incendiary comes out, the boost in CT is there, and they have a third guy ready for that. Vitality, once again, are getting red.
That's what 2 pages of notes will do for you. Na'Vi showing us that they've already got answers. And there's a moment in there where if ZywOo's gun doesn't go empty, that maybe that Orange's player dies, and then Dupree doesn't get barrel stuffed up close. That could have been then rolled into a turning point, but it's not the way it unfolds. Na'Vi going to close that gap pretty quickly. First tack pause called of this series. Vitality still leading by 1, but they've got to piece together this purchase.
Even one piece of utility can make the difference between a rotation and a team not realizing what's coming. So they probably are taking some time to think about what it is exactly that they should change. And on the fly, of course, you know, you could have the same exact execute, but once you figure out what it is that's giving you away, you change that, and suddenly Na'Vi will look totally unprepared, you know, versus the same exact thing. So they can adjust, of course. Very smart team, tons of veterans on Vitality, and Zonic at the helm. I'm sure they'll be able to figure something out.
Devil's in the details.
Maybe they haven't played against Na'Vi together, but individually, all 5 of these players have so much experience versus this roster.
Which is why they all came together to defeat them. Here today, their very first chance. Vitality, no. Na'Vi recently wounded with that loss versus Heroic. Could have been Na'Vi locking in Legends instead. They'll still have their chance. Molly top Banana. Magis gonna go pushing with a teammate just behind him around the fire. So definitely looking for a face here on this B site.
Wow, what a great risk here actually with Hall's control as well. So yeah, they haven't taken top bracket control, but they've left things open at a minute.
They leave Magisk in the cubby.
This is when it's easiest to get the CTs to get rid of some grenades early on. Now they'll work on top bracket. Not much damage here versus the T side.
Electronic posted up on balcony, but they're about to challenge Simple. And his
they,
eyes...
They could split towards B, actually. and it looks like they might.
Would be a wonderful call. See an Incendiary go down on the front of the B site for the moment. 25 seconds.
Simple's half ready for this on that side of Library, and look, he's actually rotating over kind of towards B. The one
just as they come
coming
around.
back, but they're actually
15 seconds.
Oh my God, they're getting into Arch.
Electronic dives down into the pit. Bit on site, traded out by ZywOo. There's the hit from behind. Simple serving up some damage, but there's no time for the bomb plant, and Vitality plays the clock to their own demise.
Wow.
Dude, up until 25 seconds, I still don't know if we're splitting B or A.
Yeah, I didn't either. I mean, clearly, yeah, they were a little confused. They might have changed right at the last moment, but as soon as that one player from mid went back to Banana, it felt surely indicative of a B split through CT spawn, and for whatever reason, they got worried about it. But from what we could see, there was not actually a really good sign for why.
Molotov on B site?
It could have been a late molly on B site, but the thing is that your CT players don't really care about that. The real issue maybe is that they ran out of time to actually make it through Speedway, and so could have executed too late. Now that's the one of the very few times. Oh man, another punish. The one gun, I think.
Yeah, the only AK is gone already.
Okay. Yeah, so the one thing is that most of the time I always say around the 30-second mark, you need to go for the execute. For the CT split, you need like an extra 5-10 seconds. So maybe they felt insecure coming towards the 30-second mark. If it was going to be just an A hit, they would have been fine. And maybe that's why they changed up, but hard to say for sure.
And I feel like they didn't even have all the pieces they needed to end up A. Like Library wasn't even smoked there.
Yes, yeah, they were improvising.
A real sense of panic.
Yes, they got a little worried. And hey, after the last 2 rounds, I'd be worried too.
Sure.
Because Na'Vi have been able to tell what they're going to do, and as long as they're confused about that, that's when you're going to make even more mistakes.
Right. Yeah.
So that might be a sign that they haven't figured out why.
They got outplayed on A, they got outplayed on B, and then they outplayed themselves in that third one.
Yes.
So 3 separate issues for Vitality lead to 3 separate round wins on Na'Vi's favor. We're all tied up. ZywOo gets his hands on Magic's AK, unarmored, as the entirety of Vitality are just looking to face into this B site, and Boomich is going to have a field day with the A1S spray. USP taps, not enough to drop Apex. That's the only success so far, and Dupree will be tagged by Simple as he tries to cross no smoke. It is Na'Vi 4 in a row, and right into the lead.
And there's a rare situation where 2 or more don't die, and Vitality don't get a bomb plants for the last 2, so these 2 last rounds. Okay, the investment will come through. One of the biggest boons to Vitality Seaside is ZywOo's just very comfort with the rifle. He loves rifling, and Inferno T-sides aren't really welcome to oppers as much, so that should help. But right now, this doesn't really feel as much of a problem of entries as it does of game plan. I think that's where we're just loading a ton of points into Na'Vi. And there's no reason they shouldn't keep growing stronger.
Starting to play a bit faster here. 4-man cohort already facing this arch smoke.
Oh, bomb is back on steps.
Bit locks into Moto. Perfecto's here with the flashbang. Bit's going to be flashed into this peak. Oh, he doesn't really commit to it. A player gets into the arch side. Dupree finds that quick headshot. And the CT player is not comfortable here. Perfecto knows that he could be under siege. We do have a push down B, however.
Yeah, they have logs. Bomb is going to check it, but the kills are coming for Vitality, and they've opened up a line into B. And look what's going to happen with Boomich. I mean, now he has to worry about CT spawn and this mid push, and more CTs are dying, but the bomb was at the bottom of middle.
He finds the one player.
They've got a lane player. Oh, and Simple goes down.
That's a big one. If ZywOo falls to Simple peeking that properly, suddenly it's a massive issue. Boomich just going to sit atop this bomb. Nice damage, all things considered. Amali's going to force him into this fight, and he's not able to best ZywOo. Vitality tie us back up at 4. Finding Magis with just that Tech 9 could have been massive, but the ZywOo Simple fight short A, I feel like that's what really decides the outcome of the round.
Yeah. Okay, I think the best part right here for Vitality is, like, even when they are getting red, they're at least getting like 1 or 2 kills. Like, they're looking competitive. They're winning a lot of fights, and in this situation, they didn't have the best buy in the world. They go for fast top mid control. That's open to them, and as they spread out, they're just also in such hard to read positions, I guess, that they feel comfortable about taking their next fight, and they just win like 3 in a row. So, you know, as much as Na'Vi could have been prepared for that with a bottom B push and a CT guy that was falling back, with all those guys dying in the middle of the map, really hard to distill that situation and figure out a way back in. So, with that, they'll get a buy out of Na'Vi and basically suck their bank accounts dry as well. There will be an MP9 here on Bit who has no nades to pair with it.
Tight match so far.
It is. Yeah, definitely, this is a really great situation, I think, from the viewer perspective, because, again, great game plan from Na'Vi, but firepower is there for Vitality. It seems like everyone's actually playing a lot better than we've seen so far overall at the event.
This would be the game to do it. No more best of ones, no more need for warm-ups. Possibility of legends on the line. Exchange of incendiaries, frag comes over. And again, Boomich not playing behind sandbags. I feel like he's been there less and less as of late, especially in this one. Apex gonna take the helm of this B play, met by smoke. He'll have to hold on. Oh, Boomich
Is one way.
Yep, good gap for that. Magisk dies and Perfecto finds Apex on the other end of it. They thought they had 2 players locked in, and instead they have 2 players down. Simple hanging up above. Fires some shots at Masuda and gives up the position. Falling into the A site instead. No reason to throw away a 5v3.
This is still doable if Na'Vi are scared of middle. We saw that late timing on bracket control, and that's kept 3 CTs on that site. So, hey, you look at this, 3v2 on the B site right now.
Get a clear puncture through this B hold.
Grenades are extremely low for the CT side.
Just hang on. They're smoked back. Boomich trying to prime Perfecto. Flash ahead of him. Boomich's spray's not going to find anything. Finally, Vitality start to round these corners. Perfecto goes for the pit peek. That's that rotator flashbang, and Boomich instead locks in 2. ZywOo sees the player on pillar, but he gets attacked from the back, and Na'Vi have done it. Back into the lead, they'll go.
Damn, well handled. That was definitely the right play there from Vitality at the end of the round, but ultimately Na'Vi winning with their B players, those first 2 kills. That's where their odds drop dramatically. This is one way from Boomich as well.
2 victims on that 1 smoke.
Yeah. And they needed that kind of value because they came into the round with 2 players with 1 smoke in total. I mean, they didn't even have enough flashes to let that one go on too long. But also smartly, they kept most of their utility on the B side.
Look at that pile.
Yeah.
Got a treasure trove of utility.
Can really never have too many nades on that B side.
Vitality doing a good job of kind of sprinkling these attacks back and forth between the sites, and it looks like Apartments is their point of contact here in round number 10. Simple on short though. Excellent flash. He doesn't die. He falls into the cover. He's just trying to best that 1 AK. He dies out to Dupree.
That was a crazy, crazy spray.
AK could be passed to either of the other armored players.
Yeah, Bit wants to grab it, but he also wants to be careful.
Magis takes it over instead. It's his turn at bat. Bit will recover Simple's gun.
Doesn't reload just yet. Have to fall back. They could try to retake middle in this position. Instead, they're gambling. And by gambling, I mean simply not over-rotating towards B. They're just trusting Boomich to go for the hold. And it looks like it's the right call.
Perfecto, easy first one. Bomb thrown open. Oh, just these pistol players dying to Perfecto makes this way too easy. Magisk's not able to do anything with the rifle either, so step by step, Perfecto locks this one in. His 3 kills alone brings Boomich over from the B site, and Apex is done for. All things considered, that is an excellent round from Na'Vi.
Yeah, super solid. They were right about that. Good flash timing from Electronic after Perfecto took the first one, flash help for the second, repeat for the third. And now there's a tiny lead here in the first half.
A little bit of comfort here for Na'Vi, settling in.
An adjustment. ZywOo goes for the op.
Let's see it.
Simple will also have his.
All right, well timed.
Yeah.
The op battle begins.
Oh, this is the ZywOo pick, actually.
Oh, and Simple's here
This
as
is
well.
the classic. Yeah, that's the classic
go.
ZywOo pick.
Finds it. Immediate clash of the Oppers. Edge Vitality. Dupree watching over the fire. Bit will blast him away. And just like that, we're into the 4 versus 4 with a player tagged on each side of this. Boomich versus Apex, and Apex can't hang on. We get the fight between the Oppers, the IGLs, trading blows. And ZywOo grabs bomb as we do have this leak of Vitality players on both sides of the A site. Magic's gonna win his fight on short. That immediately draws Bit back in. And remember, he's low, but he still had, for a moment, a chance. Magic reacts fast enough to slap him down. Musuda gonna lock in CT spawn. Vitality respond with a 5th.
What a big move from Magic on those 2 frags entering the B site. And I think they might have got info that one had snuck over towards B. That was Perfecto, leaving in his arch position. That's crazy. It started off with, and now I want to know if well, ZywOo definitely had a spawn, and that's also maybe why he bought the op, simply to win this 1 round, which they can of course carry forward. There just aren't that many opening duels that you will have on Inferno for the T side to justify going for it every round. People really aren't swinging car at this level.
And this level has been very high.
Very
this
high.
Is an awesome game of CS.
Yeah, absolutely.
It feels like 11 rounds of chess so far.
You know, it's like the highest level of CS when it's basically mind games every time.
Yep.
Right? The aim is insane, but it's not always coming down to that. This situation did. Bit could have actually saved it if not for that unbelievable accuracy by Magisk on the spray. Very few saves in this match as well. Everybody's had money for the most part.
Oh, big nade. That's huge. But Magisk, oh, he almost finds
What?
Boomich in the corner. Bit comes in and helps.
How does Boomich stay alive after all of that?
That's wild. 4 health as he just holds his arm above his eyes and hangs on for dear life. Regains vision and gets bailed out of that second fight by Bit. Very quick answer. 5v3 right out of the gate, and Simple's gonna rock Masuda's world. We've got this close balcony play from Dupree, perhaps.
They just knew right away, like, okay, all we have to do, we can press up on mid, smoke the end of halls. Everything's desperate at this point for Vitality.
Just as quick as ZywOo found Simple in the last round, they get 2 kills on the top of Banana here, Na'Vi. That nade?
Yeah.
Perfectly placed. ZywOo gonna walk contact B site. He will find Simple holding this angle. 2 individual prongs on both sides of the map. Electronic thinking about going for this peak, but doesn't want to give it away. ZywOo will walk into his death, offering over the bomb as well. So that is a save for Dupree and a 7th for Na'Vi.
Yeah, all Dupree does there is try to draw attention for ZywOo so
He's
he
dead.
can find some space. Well, you're right.
Eventually.
Someone died, yeah.
He's dead. Bit is going to finish it off. That's the old AK versus M4 situation for Dupree.
That's pretty solid. You know, a situation like that, you don't want to be like, oh, Na'Vi are geniuses because they needed down Banana. That's just going to happen sometimes.
Yep.
Vitality just wanted to call out a situation where they might play a little slower, and they were kind of wrong about it, but they still got Boomich blind.
Yep.
On the half wall, who actually, I think did he get hit by Bit's flash? That could be slightly incorrect. It could have been 2 flashes. He could have turned from Bit's flash, but the kill feed says it's Bit. But they obviously also flashed while they were rushing. Talking about rushing, here we are running up the alt.
Should be a moment for Na'Vi to gain some breathing room, but a great flash is going to push Simple all the way into the arches. Quick move from Electronic, and his spray nearly chops down a second. Magisk axed down by Simple. The fight towards Banana also goes the way of Na'Vi, and this is going swimmingly. There's tons of damage being done to Vitality, but not 1 kill here in the 14th round. Means Na'Vi extend this lead to 3 for the first time in this half.
Both these teams have a chip on their shoulder, I think, from the RMR so far, and having to play against each other. I think it's providing the best entertainment, probably the highest amount of emotions, and just the maximum level of preparation, right? I mean, I don't think either one feel comfortable and secure in who they are at the moment. You know, Vitality's recent form, of course, hasn't been good as well. You know, RMR is actually kind of an exception, I should say. because they've lost a lot of matches. And as much as we talk about Na'Vi being off, for the most part, they're still winning the majority of their games.
Oh, dupreeh gives it back to Electronic. Again, opening kills slipping the way of Na'Vi round after round. Oh, Boomich, solid. I feel like we haven't seen him on the sandbags all half.
That's crazy.
Sits on top of it, gets the double.
That's, yeah, what the hell?
Right? He's been dodging all and so much utility. I mean, they even did triple nades once sandbags and did 0 damage on Boomich.
He hasn't been on sandbags every round. That's how you know we got a new Na'Vi.
Felt maybe like he was going to be prepared for and overly zoned. So he changes up the game. And what a change it is. 16 and 6.
Yeah, he's had a bonkers half.
Boomich be bonkers. Smokes come over.
They're getting worked in their defaults over and over again.
Oh, Perfecto finds Masuda sleeping. And ZywOo in a 1v5 has to stare at the wall, a bullet to the back of the head as Perfecto continues to succeed alongside Na'Vi. 9 rounds now on this CT half.
Full credit for the B holds. Honestly, a lot of cameos, right? With Bit, with Simple. A tactful use of the sandbags, but not an overuse like we've seen in the past. And like you mentioned, those targeted grenades, we saw them very early on. Boomich was nowhere to be found. And I think that's such a salient thing to bring up because that's where he's had his trademark on the map, and he's saving it for the end of the half when they're last, or at least expecting it. Another 3-player setup. Potential for a Coffin's Flash here with Boomich peeking. And it looks like he's being the right amount of aggressive now. Oh, okay. And just as I say that, they boost up over the half wall, catch him out of position a little bit. Switch to the AK. And it's sort of a half buy, even though it's the last round of the half.
Oh.
Whoa, what cover.
I need to know who got that.
That was, well, Magisk, but insane cover.
He's got a barrel pressed against his head. Hostage saved. And right now, bombs planted. Simple, going to be ended as Vitality will at least nab a 6th, a much quicker tempo. Straight pack mentality from Vitality as they just run into that B site and find at least a 6th.
No Boomich, no B-hold?
No Boomich, no B-hold.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely one of the better halves that we've seen out of him. Really, really strong performance, and between him and Perfecto and the little bit of help they got throughout those rounds sprinkled in, you could see why Vitality had so much trouble.
Perfecto ending the half with an 87% KAST, so just all over everything.
For the layman, he was always doing something important.
Yes, kills, assists, saves, or trades. And I like the way you put that, cameos from Na'Vi, right? A lot of moving pieces. Everybody kind of getting
sometimes Bit starting B, sometimes Simple, but not all the time.
Everybody in flux for Na'Vi. 3-round lead as they kick off this T side. dupreeh's Berettas at the top of oranges. ZywOo's Berettas in apartments. 5 players, 7 guns on the French side.
They've got halls pretty well guarded. They're still chilling, though. They're not setting up to fully exec right now. Simple would be on the other side of mid. They're just going to wait. I don't know if he's lurking on this, but...
Now, we had clear indicators on Na'Vi's CT side that they were prepped for the Vitality offense. I'm really curious if we're going to get that same thing from the French.
Are they going CT?
Yeah, they're running, jumping, just hopping all over the place.
They might go back to A, though, yeah.
Oh, Magisk can't manage to get that second one. Bomb confirmed inside CT spawn. ZywOo's going to think about going aggressive, but Boomich is locking him in. And now ZywOo's a little bit distracted, but luckily he has Pit still being held, so good coverage here from Apex. You'd assume the big boom gets around the hay cart. He's kind of being given a chance to work this. Apex is not going to get anything, and the A site falls with 0 frags.
That is sick.
They just squeezed it.
That was such a sick pistol. Oh my god. You know it's good when you're looking at the map and you can see all 10 players and you still can't tell what's coming. They had Simple waiting at the steps for a lurk. That pistol round had so many things in place to follow frags, that they kept their options open to both split CT through B if the B push came down towards Simple, or continue with the wrap split to A if they had seen nothing in CT spawn.
That was no coverage, bro.
Oh my god, he flicked.
That's why I was frazzled. Look at that. Thank you, replay.
Jesus Christ. What the hell?
I got my own back.
Anyways, ZywOo was pushing mid, and ZywOo was actually really smart to walk because there was a player right around the corner. And when he fell back to the site, you know, that wrap came, and they basically were able to change that in the middle of the round, and it would have still been a really, really strong adjustment. But it's there's no telling what they called at a spawn. I think with a play like that, that just covered so many things.
Bison? I thought we got past this. Simple looking for the unarmored targets, but dupreeh could actually serve up an issue. He can just get here fast enough. Smoke grenade's gonna buy a good bit of time. dupreeh now on CT cross. Smoke soon to fade. They're just gonna try to flash pop it. Magisk actually kills Simple. ZywOo also offers us a dig, and now these Ts were supposed to be sent reeling backwards. Instead, Perfecto gonna hold that ground and deal with the rifleman. Then they double back.
Yeah. Oh, and it's a boost on quad, so I mean they could hear him running 100%. Apex only has a scout inside of the pit. He gets a tag off. Boomich
That'll
down
help.
low.
Oh, finishes Perfecto, but the pistol's not quite enough. 30 HP for Boomich's 1v3. The top fragger of the server. Looking to add a clutch to the repertoire.
Magisk is extremely low here.
Only 9 bullets in the magazine, though. That could serve up an awkward situation in the middle of it. But
Were you
like you
looking
said,
at no armor?
Magisk low.
Or they have Magisk on half armor.
Yeah, and ZywOo has nothing. So, I mean, he could get shredded by this SMG.
Timing.
It's going to have to be that perfect pinch. The gun's empty. Glock is out. Magisk's ooh, at risk, but holds on. And Vitality's force will work.
Damn.
Not off of the back of that FAMAS. Not really off of the back of the Scout, although some impact there to set up that final kill. It's really those 2 Deagles on B site.
Yeah, it all helped for sure. We saw
Pounded
how
Navi
close
back.
Boomich got right there, yeah. Damn. Okay, well that at least makes the game competitive now. We'll see what the CT side is all about.
Definitely a sigh of relief for Vitality to get that one.
The clear best decision here for Navi is just to even out the money. No reason to... I mean, actually, you know, if the money was a little different, they might think about forcing into it just because of the amounts that Vitality are going to have to buy up. So I think it's Navi's best interest to play a very slow round if they're going to go Deagles, because every single kill can be huge. Each of the Vitality players down to 0 except for Apex. There's a little extra money in the pocket. Not much, though. Logically, even if you put the minimal amount of pressure in a round like this, the later into the round, the easier it's going to be for you to find dry duels, one-on-one with Eagles. A little bit of pressure, and they'll draw out more utility, but even if Vitality don't see anything, they'll start using some, at least.
Steps out mid. Oh, ZywOo well timed, but Electronic did just kill Magisk on Arch, so that pulls one of the 2 A players back over. And then they make short, I was going to say the intended target. Show some nades. Masuda, he's pushing up close, and that's going to put him within that lethal range of the pistols. Perfecto's Deagle. Oh, it looked like that was going to crack open the B site. Instead, it's Apex with the 3K A1S spray down to keep 3 up for Vitality and to close that lead to a measly 2 rounds.
He totally saves it. He totally saves it with that one spray.
And of course, he had like Masuda in front of him as well, so it's like, oh, I don't want to
Didn't
shoot you in
wanna
the back,
shoot him,
bro,
yeah.
but get out of my way. This is a tough spot, and Apex stands up. Vitality's defense surviving the test so far. All the CT frag grenades thrown, and it's only the one towards Banana that does a bit.
Oh, they're aggroing. Oh, and they get punished. That's Masuda going down.
Simple, so ready. Just walks around the corner dry. Apex throws a smoke up as the second CT gets in. We do also have Magisk coming over through CT spawn.
This banana smoke with a gap on the right side is so key. Every time you try to cross to the right and get in the cubby, you can't do that safely now. So CT's a little bit on the right there, just to make sure.
Oh, they're gonna aggress this with 3 players.
Gonna go clear this up. Perfecto's waiting. I mean, they have 2 on the corner.
Oh.
That's 3 spotted, however. So they turn back towards A.
Yeah, they're gonna run right into Dupree, and he's playing ahead of the smoke. Cuts off Bit, isn't able to double down onto Boomich. Very nice trade with the Galil to give us this 2v2, and Vitality wasted no time rotating over. Electronic inside sight. Boomich trying to clamber up into the apartments, and he will be able to get there.
Uh-oh.
Electronic pressed so close to the smoke. Molotov down, but this spot... Oh, no, it spreads, and that's going to be the end of him. ZywOo finds enough fire to Electronic's feet to push Boomich into the 1v2 clutch, looking for his 20th and 21st kill, and he gets that first one, knows he's under pressure, falls all the way back, and he's going to play that time to a T. Boomich is a beast tonight.
Wow, he's on one. Finally grabs that 1v2 as well, and the first move is the most important. Taking the risk of getting up into halls, knowing that the last 2 rotators were spotted at the top of Banana. Took a small risk in knowing that they probably won't push through the Moto smoke. He has time to get up there, but that's, of course, the best spot to play a 1v2 from if the bomb is down in that regular position, and they don't know it. So, Boomich, he's aiming today. He's playing smart and cerebral, and it's paying off.
The real payoff is we've got Vitality back in just to the USPs. 1 P250 for Apex. And a real open door for Na'Vi to run away. Huge clutch.
Yeah, he was so in tune with that. He could have actually also run towards lane, and it would have been right. I think he would have made it no problem. All's pop now.
That's a good dink. ZywOo USP frag. Okay. Goes back towards mid, softens up Simple. Considering USPs in a P250, Boomich and Electronic are low, but Simple's had enough of this. All right, he's not playing any games. Na'Vi going to secure that 12th round win, a 4-round lead back in their pocket.
Oh man, feels like they're not going to waste this Boomich carry.
No. No, you don't. It happens every once in a while.
Yeah, it's not the, of course, when you got players like you do on Na'Vi, it's not going to happen every day.
But obviously,
and when we talked about the core, didn't even mention Boomich because you know he's not one of the guys who is supposed to do a lot of the fragging compared to players like Bit and Electronic. But when he does, it certainly helps.
Yeah, you welcome it with open arms.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you know, talk about CT side Inferno, like, sorry, Banana. That's like where a lot of kills are going to come. If you're part of the B-hold, a lot of Na'Vi's Inferno success will come down to Boomich and Perfecto, even though they might not be regarded as core.
ZywOo on the CT side at op. Utility's a little bit light here for Vitality. Oh, this is quick pressure. Oh, Masuda. Oh, no.
Apex's nade. Wait, how did that happen? I mean, they must have known that Masuda was going to wrap in front of the half wall on that exact tactic. Unless the nade hit him in the back, that's a huge mistake, man.
Oh.
That arch is totally open here. They know it's a 3B setup. Electronic knows this immediately. I don't even know how much he wants to rush this, but look at the timing that he has.
Magic's
There's
head,
one
it's right
yeah,
there.
there's one in the graveyard.
Electronic
he
doesn't see it.
He doesn't see it, but you know what? It might not even matter. He still knows there's 2 on the A site. That's just actually crazy. I mean, it was just floating there the entire time.
Magic's little round head.
Okay, I think he might now have seen. Maybe he didn't. The thing is, they could go back to look at Arch, so that's the risk for Electronic, and he has a full minute to wait. So it looks like they're going to try some Halls pressure. I think that makes more sense than lane. They still don't know Arch is wide open. This is a very blind round from Vitality.
Oh, this is weird. If ZywOo can land this shot, then it's
think
Boiler that becomes the problem, but nobody's going to be exposed to Electronic. ZywOo does land the first one, but as he retreats into the site, he's caught by Electronic. Magisk will take that fight,
really.
perfectly timed by Bit. Navi takes it. Hook, line, and sinker. They slice right through that A site. What a weird little situation
that was so
was,
crazy. His
man.
head just floating inside of the graveyard. But he didn't. That's why it's sometimes important just to not move at all. I mean, it really is like in nature, right? Where you don't want to give your opponent. I mean, if you're standing beside something still and you're moving, well, that's all they need to see. But
Electronic like a T-Rex, man. If it's not moving, then it's not there. Too funny. No laughing matter for Vitality, of course. Playing that round without much information. And then their heart just sinks as suddenly Navi swarm them on that A site.
the strange part is
Apex is...
Oh my god.
What? He's gonna... What is that?
Was he just carving his name into the wall? Excuse me.
Simple's just dumbfounded, like,
Look at him. Oh my god. I would be so tilted. I don't know exactly what happened. He might have just been talking, thinking he had the save locked up. It just gets knifed.
He's checking his phone, you know?
I mean, that's $1,500 for Navi. That's $1,500. You can't deny that cash.
A quick stiletto to the throat.
He was actually just taking a stress break, it looked like. Oh.
Yeah.
You're about to go take a vacation, just stub your toe in the door, you know?
All right, guys, these are all the things I'm going to do with this saved gun next round.
It's the face you make when you get 4 red lights in a row.
Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, that one's going to sting.
Oh, man. 13-8. Knife kill on that last round. So 1 dies in the save. Only 1 gun for this one. Defending against 14.
What felt like a very close game at the start of this has suddenly started to turn into some real Navi dominance. Only 5 rounds out of the last 18 for Vitality. And only 2 of those won consecutively, so it's a very rare occurrence that Navi have had to play with pistols in their hands. Right now, it's just Dupree with the rifle, but oh, he was in a great spot to find that. Bit as sharp as ever. Not able to punish for that second CT that they knew was inside of Boiler. That, at the very least, is ZywOo to grab the A1S and get back into this bomb site. But at that point, Navi, they don't need to take some overzealous risk. They'll group back up. Bomb's still on the bottom of ramp. Just pressing up close for a little more pressure, a little more information.
They're faking the B-split. It attracts attention of both CTs here. I don't know. Are they boosting over this? Yeah, they are. Interesting. With the gun. Maybe this works.
Ah, a little jiggle from Electronic, but yeah, didn't take that warning sign to heart. Goes right back and falls for it. We have this A1S still in a prime spot.
Yes, we do.
Pistols could still distract. 25 seconds left. The clock will serve as a pressure situation. Apex, he runs outwards. He's a one and done in this moment.
They can't go back to B now.
Navi, they're still just looking to hang on. ZywOo takes another duel, loses it to Boomich. Good deagle shot from Magisk. Then the next player's low. Can't finish Boom just yet. Bit comes in from balcony, and that pushes Masuda to the 1v2 with a picked up AK from Electronic's corpse. But he doesn't have armor.
Not only do they need this, but it's possible. Yeah, they don't have armor. Oh, there was an opportunity. No bullets shot back from Bit. He doesn't want to risk it whatsoever. He doesn't care if he doesn't get the kill as long as he stays alive. That's some good prioritization from Bit.
Navi
gave Masuda some tracers to shoot back at. Man, if Magis gets one more, we have a game on our hands.
could have shot Boomich anywhere in the body.
They actually got really scared. That one tactic to go up on the boost behind Moto was almost the one that won the round. And I was actually going to call attention to the fact that we haven't seen that much ingenuity from Vitality here on the CT side.
Yeah.
Navi have been controlling the flow of all of these rounds. And to be fair, they've been doing an admirable job of just putting pressure on both sides of the map. It doesn't really feel like there are that many gaps, but Vitality have a lot of tactics. I think that's actually the thing about them that I normally would talk about the most. But they haven't really used their deep mid smoke to put pressure down. We've seen dupreeh make plays in alt, and Money hasn't been incredible, but it doesn't seem like the mood is either. I think that's when things can get a bit stale. Navi know they're in a power position. Really excellent game plan coming into this match so far. And not just a game plan, executed extremely well too. Everything from that second half pistol to some of those very early CT setups. I think Vitality have been outclassed today in that way. Still only map one, but a statement.
Rebounding very well from that loss versus Heroic so far. Boomich at the top of that list. 134 ADR coming into round 23. Huge numbers for the IGL. Perfecto going to be pressured by utility here. This is Vitality still trying to hang on to this close press on bottom ramp.
God damn. Zaiwu eats that entire molly. He's down to 14 health on Banana.
They're so low.
It looks like they know it's a 3B setup again. dupreeh have one escape past him.
Easy first pickup. Oh, a triple from dupreeh as he lines up Bit and Boomich. Perfecto, remember, 18 health because of that smoke spam, comes at that fight and dies, and we have Simple in a 1v4 versus all wounded members. dupreeh gonna just stamp his name on this round and give Vitality more chances.
What a hold. I mean, a tiny change in elevation is all he needed there. Jumped up on top of the balcony, and that's it. Lined up the 3K spray down.
All right, Simple. Smooth moves. dupreeh, man. Always good for a pit hold.
Yeah.
Always good for that A-site multi-kill. Not that either him or Zaiwu, those two heaviest hitters of Vitality, have kind of given us this standout performance. Not the likes of Boomich.
Yeah, I mean, they might be great players, but they're on the worst team right now.
Yep. Well put. Still, that little bit of extra margin of error for Vitality coming out of round 23. Still trailing Navi by 5. But at least they're not playing against map point. Not yet. dupreeh, man of the round. 3 kills from the balcony. First one made easy by the fact that he's jumping, and then that quick little lineup.
And this one was as simple as...
elevation change. So smooth.
That was sick. Yeah, that was as simple as for Navi in seeing that as a 3B setup, immediately busting for top mid and wasting no time transposing into the lane hit. So there was tons of pressure on the 2 players alive, and we saw some heroics out of dupreeh.
Oh, another fast fight. Magisk almost snipping Perfecto's wings.
This counters out the fake pressure they put at the bottom of B, which will change Navi's situation slightly. At least maybe add some time to the clock. Tech 9 on for Boomich.
There's a save round on the line with this one too, so Vitality, they're not lost just yet.
Man, I can't believe Vitality are playing 3B this many times. They're leaving Arch open again to be spotted. And I feel like Navi don't want to believe it either. It seems like they might be trying to end in this way, which this could be really smart from Vitality. Uh-oh, knock to the Tech 9. Op shot gets missed. Masuda, he gets 2 and he lives. And now,
moment.
once again, 2 players spotted on Banana. But this is a situation where they've already got 2 kills, so it's a 3v4.
Separate 1v1s.
Yeah, they're coming in.
Apex, okay, big pick up there.
Oh, they get the pit player.
Yep.
Dupree goes down. Bomb wrapping around through halls. And Apex doesn't know that Electronic has already snuck onto the site.
Oh, he didn't see that. Comes at it. Electronic's going to give us a second here for Na'Vi. And while they may have lost that arch fight, Electronic saves the chances of winning this round. It's ZywOo and Masuda versus Electronic and Perfecto. And the CT side still has a smoke on Masuda. That could be used to cut off Electronic, who just looks to lock this in from pit. Perfecto's going to go all the way back into the site. Bomb is planted on the short side of the tall box, and that is big. ZywOo with a little bit of magic, but they need to figure out where Perfecto is at. It's Masuda currently holding a kit. Perfecto, oh, ZywOo, he can smell them as he gets that wallbang into pit and hunts him down backside.
He's on the spice. ZywOo is on the spice.
Cerebral.
Oh, it's a beautiful frag into the graveyard, or into the big pit. I'm glad Vitality won this because they won Banana. Their setup was correct. They read that Na'Vi would come back into it, and it's obviously a really big risk for that late into the round to keep 3 Banana. But then when Boomich got his Tech 9 frag, things almost fell apart, and ZywOo missed his first duel as well. And Dupree dies over towards the pit.
This could be a fast one. They don't have that third player here. Masuda, he's stuck inside of the incendiary. They know about him.
Oh my god. They pressed up. I mean, Apex is here all alone. He's going to throw maybe a great grenade, but now he gets
so
blinded.
blind.
He can't even fall back.
Tech 9 spams the smoke. Apex is able to answer, but there's no damage here. Not enough, no kill. And all of a sudden, the T's, they just swarm this B bomb site. Apex, he's going to find Electronic right after that plant. We've got Boomich on top of boxes, and 2 T's setting the crossfire between Banana and Little Pit.
Wow, the second Oranges plant. What a risk. Coffin's wide open, but they block the cover.
Huge amounts of utility for the retake, so that smoke grenade's going to cut off half of what's left of Navi's post plant. Simple's on half health. No, he's not. Full HP with that AK. Pushes past the Molotov. Bit gets the headshot. ZywOo and Dupree somehow able to answer, but now Dupree, he's got 2 players splitting him down the middle, and he throws a smoke not atop the bomb. It is Na'Vi with 5 map points.
God damn, they pulled that off.
They just cranked the dial, run down Banana, smash the pit player out, and they take this one by storm.
Man, the counter utility was so good, and Perfecto won his duel with the Tech 9 taking over CT control, and that bomb going down on the other side of Fountain wasn't even corroborated to Dupree. He runs into the site. That's just the last place it gets planted, and the only reason they pulled that off is because they were totally aware of the Fountain covering Coffins, leaving it wide open. An interesting idea for Na'Vi. Once again, really well executed. Well, that's how they're going to scoop it up, huh? And the last round, it was two alive for Vitality with ZywOo and I think Masuda rotating over from the B site to win versus Perfecto and Electronic. So it was already very expensive. But now to lose to just pistols.
Dire situation. That's Na'Vi for you. Just a quick uppercut, sucker punch. Now they've got 5 map points. Gonna be a very tough recovery. Dude, we just talked about this, insistence from Vitality to play 3 on Banana. They move that piece back, and that's when the rush comes through. But that's really been the tail of the tape. Na'Vi just kind of outplaying Vitality, right? If any moment we get like the right call for the right situation, it's been Na'Vi's way. Vitality hanging on, but Na'Vi a step ahead. 5 steps ahead at the moment. Nice peek from Apex. Sees that flood of utility coming over the top, and if the MP9 can kick this off, then maybe ZywOo's op can lock it in. Oh, and Masuda gets the back of Bit's head. A 5 versus 2 situation. This one not looking done just yet. A half health Simple, 3/4 HP for Perfecto. And they've got bodies to deal with here on this B site, but that could help. The first pull on the string, but Apex just jumping drive-by MP9. That's going to be Simple taken out of this one. Perfecto looking for the clutch, and as many clutches as he may have, this is not his. Vitality, 4 more chances.
Yeah, 4 to get to OT. Why don't we live in a world where that's entirely possible? I mean, yeah, they're fighting. They did that with a pistol. I mean, it was a great setup. They caught one in mid. They caught one on B. They used that up, and they kept their B players safe for the early round, which I think is the huge thing. I believe there are no money here for Navi. No money. Bit has some, but he's just going to hang on to it.
Just looking to just bully these unarmed opponents. 4 immediate kills in alt mid. I like it. Let's get it over with. Let's get this game back underway. ZywOo trades out Magisk, the only casualty here for the defense.
Yeah, we've got a real match now.
Rinse and repeat. Let's get it.
Listen, it's one of 2 stories right now. If Vitality get to OT, then yeah, they were kind of every bit as good as Navi. But if that's not the situation, then you can't say that this was really close. It felt like Navi were in control basically every step of the game. So Vitality, their only kind of respectable result at this point is to cross this line and get to overtime and equalize with Navi. Come back on this T side versus this T side.
Vitality not looking too passive. Magisk thinking proactive. Moves close to the apartment's entrance. Navi for the time being. Oh, I was going to say just lean back.
Damn.
But Perfecto leans too far, slips. And a broken back. Oh, but there's still a chance at a recovery. Bit, that is so clean.
Man, that's both players on the hall set.
What?
You see them, running at this. ZywOo hits a blinder.
God.
Beautiful shot on Electronics. So fast with it. And they shut down this hall's attack.
The goal to just run into Boiler. Goes combat opping.
Bomb is left back in spawn. They're walking up to the top of Banana. Do they realize how fast they are? Simple kills Apex.
That's going to help.
One of 2 players dying on the B site early.
Still 50 seconds to squeeze the 3v3.
Vitality pause. They have not rotated off of the A site. Navi, how scared do they think they are? That's the question. This is a brave call for Vitality to make, but it looks like it might pay off.
One smoke to the B site for Coffins.
One in the graveyard right now.
Masuda just alone on B.
Dupree is hoping, crossing his fingers and toes, that they come out of halls in that situation. Op is here to protect him. 20 seconds. And if ZywOo makes first contact, you better believe Dupree is going to be forgotten about.
Just comes down to the crunch. Dupree doesn't kill the one in the air. Now they know about him. Goes back at it. Gets the bomb. Stopped on top of balcony. There's just no time for Simple. And the setup, the 2A play works out.
Whew. What a call to make, man. That was brave. That was brave. They lost Apex on the B site. 3 players there at the top of Banana. That smoke goes down. And Vitality assume it will be respected.
And the target selection from Dupree. Tags up the guy flying down. Comes back at it with the lower peak. Ends Boomich on top of balcony. Vitality with some fight left in them. That fight from ZywOo.
So fast. So fast.
And an instant after Dupree drops that bomb, Simple's able to kill him. If that shot comes in half a second sooner, we're talking 3 players on site versus ZywOo with a bomb plant in Navi's back pocket and a highly probable 16th round win. Instead, they are sent back down into the problematic pistols. Simple, solo AK.
Yeah, it's feeling like a round 30 finish on map 1. Rotating over slowly. Hey, listen, Apex and Masuda have take turns dying here on the B site versus Pistols as well. They're taking a risk just by playing back right now. Smoke comes down, but you can tell Navi's intentions are quite clear. They're going to commit through this, and the rotations could not be farther away. They could not be farther away.
This is it. It's got to be Apex. He wipes the sweat off of his hands, throws the smoke forward. Masuda will be locked out of this. And Apex is about to be tested. Boomich jumps into his death. Oh, Apex able to at least shave off that second. But Masuda is going to be on his own for a little bit longer.
Man, bomb goes down instantly. They're so incredibly slow right now. Masuda holding on to construction control, and all the Ts are in typical positions.
A boatload of utility for the retake.
But only one molly.
A banana flank added in. Simple, that front-running AK shaves off Masuda. He goes down with nothing, and Simple immediately turns his attention back to Banana. He's getting attacked, and Magisk finds that headshot.
They mollied the wrong position. Quad is still alive.
They need to somehow unroot both these players. ZywOo looking for the target. Bit swings out. We've got a Magisk on the bomb. The stabs are there, and Navi's 16-13 with a solo rifle buy and another B-site burst.
Yeah, that's a map locked up. A couple of pistoling rounds here, one from Na'Vi, and they do it in such a chill way. They're not even too excited. They were looking for round 30 to make it happen. And for Vitality, almost everything was really good. They were fighting like animals to get to this point. But the problem was their B-site holds.
Yes.